Hey YouTube, what's going on? My name is Badfish and welcome to Gone Gaming, and of course, welcome back to the beautiful city of San Pedro. If you're new to my channel, welcome to the city of San Pedro. It's my current ongoing realistic City Skylines series, which I am basing off of the American West Coast. I hope you enjoy it. But I'm back, guys. Yeah, so we had a nice long weekend here over at Gone Gaming, and I got married, which was super exciting. Had a really awesome week. Thank you for all the well wishes for the people that came and said congratulations. I really appreciate it. But we're back. I got some cool ideas of some stuff I want to build over the next few days, weeks, I guess. I don't know. It really depends on my schedule. But we got some cool stuff going on, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And today we are starting out our welcome back here with a bit of a power plant. So we were losing a little bit of power. Our original power plant that we built way back in episode 2 was starting to not be able to power the entire city. There were some rolling blackouts. I added like some little solar panels and stuff kind of hidden in buildings to offset that, but I wanted to stop doing that and just make it so we never really have to worry about power. So a nuclear plant was on the docket, so we went ahead and built that up today. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's one of my favorite builds I've done in a little bit. I really enjoy industrial builds, and I think just having something of this size and magnitude was really fun. And of course, there's a lot of security and stuff with nuclear plants, so there were some cool details that we were able to put in. But basically right now, all you're seeing is me starting out the basic layout of the plant. I really wanted to have a canal running through so those water pipes would have a place to take water out of and not be, subject to the actual flow of the regular river. A lot of nuclear plants that I looked at a lot of ones in California and things like that. They would have interplay with the water a lot. Obviously, you need that for cooling because the process of nuclear fission does require a lot of water in order to cool down the plant so they don't, overreact. And we have a Chernobyl on our hands. I didn't want that in San Pedro, so we made sure there was plenty of water around for people to access and utilize. And we got a couple different pumps. And over here, I'm just building out the actual plant itself, so just putting in some employee parking and things like that. Some of the parking lines didn't show up, but we work with what we got, and I think it ended up looking fine. Again, it's one of those things you're going to notice when you're right up close, but when you scrolled out, not a big deal. And then just painting in with concrete. So as far as like the landscaping and stuff, you're going to see these little trees kind of dotted around. By the end of this episode, those will all be gone. If you look at a lot of different power plants, there's very limited vegetation, especially around the plant itself. So what I did is I took those out, and later I will do some landscaping, but it's going to be mainly around the entrances and the perimeter of the plant itself. So not in the actual, I don't want plants over here. I don't want plants where I'm building. So I tried to make it a little more realistic in that sense. We definitely end up with a good amount of vegetation still, but it's just more localized to the outskirts of the region rather than right in front of it. And here, all I'm doing is I didn't like the way those pumps were set up. I wanted to be able to have them kind of right across from the reactors they're working with. So that's what I did there, was just move the canal a little bit, bring it over, and that way these pumps can be attached to the reactors that they are needed for. And right in the middle here, you saw me place this down first. This is like a border patrol office. Technically, that's what it's called on the workshop. To me, it just looks like a guard post. So we put that in to act as a guard post for the nuclear plant itself. Obviously, when it comes to nuclear power, there's a lot of bad things you can do with it if you have the wrong frame of mind. So you want to make sure that it is protected. You want to make sure that there is security. So I really went all out in the security, maybe a little bit too big brother on it. I put a lot of cameras and guard posts and things like that. So you can't even fart in this power plant without someone noticing, which, for better or worse, that's the way it's going to be. So just fixing up the fence here as I went and deleted some stuff. You will see me do this a lot with anything that's fenced in, is put these pathways down. I actually got that from Arrowhead Junction. I think it was Strict Toaster that did it. So that way when you scroll out, you can actually see what's going on with your fences. And then here I'm just adding in some big old power lines and transformers just to make it look a little bit more realistic. I thought it turned out pretty good. We are going to just skip over that for a second because I did take quite a bit to make that look the way I wanted, but we'll go back over there when I'm landscaping so you guys will be able to see it, and you'll see it in the live play as well. And then over in this area, so this power plant in my head is also the home of the biggest power company in San Pedro. So that's why you see me putting down all these parking lots and stuff. These are going to be filled with electrical trucks. So both, the ones with the actual cranes and buckets for people to go up and work on lines, and then just typical little pickup trucks with tools and stuff like that for the electrical teams to go out and fix things as they're needed. So I filled this up, not completely, because I wanted to make it seem like some of the trucks were out on, tasks and out doing things, while, the other ones are obviously parked here either for maintenance or just waiting for their drivers to come in and start their shift. Over here, where I just put down those couple of trucks, that was a maintenance bay, so I'm going to do a little bit more detailing over there and a little bit put down some oil spots and stuff, but I wanted to have some trucks in front of the maintenance. And then another thing I saw with a lot of nuclear power plants is they will have kind of doubled up security fences. So where the actual plant begins, they'll usually have another fence just to have another level of clearance for people going into that side. So that's what I try to do. I tried to separate like where the water processing is from the actual power plant itself. One thing which I will say in the live play too is I should have put some more fences around the reactors. That's a big whoops on my end, but it happens. So now just some more added security, plopping in these guard posts here. Like I said, Big Brother is very prevalent in this nuclear power plant. So just adding those in, and then a whole buttload of CCTV cameras just to make sure that every square inch of this place is under surveillance, to make sure that nothing bad happens and, the nuclear power is safe and all that good stuff. So we'll go through, just add a few more of these, and, I tried to put them in spots that they'd be hitting a lot of movement. So, parking lots, that maintenance bay where the trucks are loading in and out, and obviously the entrances and exits of the buildings, things like that. That's where I tried to focus in with the security cameras. And now we're going to go ahead and just get rid of some of these trees around here and make it a little bit cleaner. In just a second, I'll go through and delete absolute everything as far as the trees go, and then I'll put in kind of my own vegetation. What you see me doing here right now with the dirt, that is something I also saw a lot when I looked up on Google Earth, is a lot of power plants, those cooling towers will just have a bunch of dirt around them. It won't even be grass. So I wanted to capture that as well and just put dirt all the way around them. Do I know why they do that? No, it could just be the power plants I was looking at. Maybe there's a reason for it. If you know the reason for it, if you're, a nuclear physicist or engineer, please let me know down below. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I just wanted to have the dirt around those cooling towers because a lot of the different, pieces of inspiration I looked up and the real life power plants I looked up, that was a prevalent thing, is having that dirt right around there. And now here is where I'm going to start cleaning up all those trees and making it a little bit more sparse as far as the landscaping goes. And now I was just kind of hurting for some more detail, so I just put down some boxes, some security guards, and just different things like that. So just kind of adding little superfluous details where I can, like some barrels over by the water pumps. So if there's any like runoff or things like that, they put them in those barrels and ship them out, or maybe they take them to the waste transfer facility to take care of them, in a green way. I don't really know exactly how the runoff works with the water and things like that, if it is able to be reclaimed or what, but I just wanted to have some extra details in there. So putting down like some trash bins and some porta potties and things for the workers, and just trying to make it look like a more used space than just having like blank concrete. Something I say in probably every episode is I hate blank concrete, so I try to get rid of that as much as I can. But I think it looks pretty good with some of those details. And there you just saw me take out the rest of the trees, and we're going to start our landscaping. So my landscaping for San Pedro right now, it's a lot of undergrowth. So I start with these weeds right here that you see me plopping down. They're all really green and, a good space filler. I think they look nice. I try to put them on the outskirts too, so it looks a little bit more realistic instead of, just having the weeds here and not having them outside. And then I add in these smaller weeds that have a bunch of wildflowers on them just for a little pop of color. So if you see those pops of white, that's where that's coming from. And just trying to add it around the space. Like I said, I'm trying to just keep it towards the outskirts more or less. With the weeds though, I kind of added it all throughout because it's just weeds. I don't think that they're gonna be too worried about landscaping around over here. They're just gonna wanna make sure trees and stuff don't get near the power lines and the reactors and things like that. And then we'll go ahead and add in our trees. I tried to keep them pretty sparse. So you'll see me put down a lot, but then I usually go back and try to delete some out just to get more natural growth patterns with the trees, just because when you have big blocks like that, it doesn't look that great. So I do try to sparse it up a little bit and make it look a little more realistic. So you'll be able to see the rest of that landscaping in a little while in the live play. You'll be able to see it. I didn't want to keep it all in there for you. And we're going to finish out the build by just adding a couple more details as far as like these barriers and stuff. I wanted to have them around this canal so people don't drive straight into it when they're in this parking lot. I am gonna put down like some decals and things just to rough up that concrete, make it look a little more well used and a little more beat up, especially where all the trucks are coming in and out. I thought that was important. And obviously all the workers and things like that. So then I put some oil spots down where a lot of trucks are and some cracks where I think a lot of people will be coming in and out. I really like those oil spots under the trucks. I think it adds a lot of realism, especially over here by the maintenance bay. And of course, just these filled in cracks and things. And then I broke my cardinal sin. If you guys don't know what that is, it's I always try to do decals last because it's very hard to move things on top of decals, but I had an idea after I put the decals in that I just wanted like a little loading area for trucks to come in and out of. I do that with a lot of my industrial areas because even again when I was looking at different power plants, a lot of them had cargo areas where trucks were coming in and out. Do I know exactly what they're taking in and out of a power plant? No idea, but you know, if it's in real life, why can't it be in here? So I just went ahead and popped in a little loading area. And now basically you're just gonna see me doing my last little bit of detailing here. And really all that is just adding lights. When I went to nighttime, I always try to go to nighttime at the end of my builds just to see how dark they are. And this was really dark. So I tried to brighten it up and just add a little more light to it so you can see what's going on and have a more interesting view at nighttime. But that is gonna do it for the time lapse, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and let the music play out. I'll see you in the live play. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that build. That's just gonna about do it for the time lapse. I think it came out pretty good. I think it's a good first nuclear power plant. So I just want to take you through everything and kind of start here with the entrance. So when you're coming in, I used this, it's technically a border patrol office that I don't even know if it was like for someone's series or whatever, but I think it looks really nice. I think it works well as like a guardhouse, a gatehouse. So that's what we're using it as instead. So this is just our little gatehouse, our little guard post going into the actual power plant itself. I do really enjoy having these guard posts put out through as well. So as we come through here, here's our little bit of vegetation, and then it starts to clear up more as you get towards the actual like, you know, power plant aspect of things. So a lot of power plants I looked at, the big cooling towers would have pretty much just dirt around them, nothing else. So I went ahead and just painted that all in with dirt for those. Then we got our little main building here. So it has a little garage, which I use as kind of like a loading dock slash, you know, maintenance repair bay for all of the electrical vehicles. Over here, we got all of our parking for our electrical vehicles. I really like putting this like oil spots and stuff down for a little bit of added realism, a little bit of flavor, but I think it looks pretty good. And of course, you know, the cracked up concrete and things like that. I did put a second fence and guard post going into this area just because this is like the actual power plant itself. So I wanted to have just like a second point of security for that. And of course, we got all these CCTV cameras placed throughout. So Big Brother is watching, so look out. And then over on this side, I guess I should put more security on these because these are technically the reactors. So that's my bad. I should probably put another fence over here, but for now I think it's fine. We got a bunch of cameras on them, and then just by like where the water pumps are, I put some like oil trucks to be water trucks, and you know, some barrels and stuff, just, you know, in case there's any extra pumping going on or they need to take, you know, any kind of byproduct out from here. That's what's going on here. And then of course our transformers slash, you know, gigantic effing power lines. Those are huge. And then they kind of spread out as they go into the actual town proper. But I think that area looks nice. I really like this asset too. Just adds a little bit more realism to a power station, having like the actual transformers and stuff and having it all kind of interact with each other. And like I said, I did try to do some natural landscaping, but then clear it up where the actual stuff's going on. So like this, I think they like cut back the trees to keep them away from the reactors. Obviously in here, they didn't let any trees grow, but then in the middle, you know, they just kind of let it go for that little entrance. And then the last couple of things here, we got obviously the water pumps and then kind of our water treatment and another pump here. Honestly, I just did this because a lot of the different nuclear plants I looked at, they had a lot of interaction with the water itself. You know, they need the water for coolant, could be able to cool down everything going on as far as making the power. And I just thought it looked nice to have that little pump there, and obviously the canal going through and everything too. And then we do have the fence kind of stretched out throughout everything. You did see me when I put the fence down. I probably talked about this already, but just in case I didn't, you did see me put down these dirt paths. So you can't really see it over here because that's all dirt. But like if you look over here, I have dirt paths going along. That's just so when you scroll out like this and the fence disappears, you can still tell, you know, that is a fenced in area. But I think it looks really good. Again, it works with like this unique skyline that we're building over here. So we have, you know, our from our last episode, our beach and stuff with the you know, the observatory over here, and now in the background we have these gigantic cooling towers, this gigantic power plant, but it's far enough away that it's not going to affect anything. But yeah, that pretty much does it for today's build, guys. So I really hope you liked it. If you did, definitely leave that thumbs up down below. I really appreciate that. And if you're interested in more City Skylines stuff, definitely check out my channel. I think this is now, we're nearing like 30 episodes in the San Pedro arc. So definitely check out some of the other builds. We got some cool stuff. I'll link to a couple that I just mentioned above. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.